Welcome, and welcome to season 2 of the Heatcast with myself, Seán Ryan. Joined with me on the show is another Donegal act. I'd say this guy is going to be fire in the next few months. I know he's going to drop some serious heat. It's the one, it's the only. Where's Will? Where is Will? He's right here with us. How are you getting on?
I'm good, man. Oh, fuck. All right. I'm good, man. How you doing? How's everything?
Off to a rough start, but sure, look, we'll get on with it. Obviously, you're. I think one of the main questions here is that a lot of people would have known you as 353 Highways, and you're changing it to Where's Will. What's the whole story with that?
It just came from a lack of, like, you know, this doesn't represent me. And I was trying to find a name that really suited me and kind of embodied what I want, who I am, and everything I want to do. It was more so like trying to find a name or a title that I would be happy with if this was my name. Like, if people were only to address me as that, would I be happy with it? And when it came to 353 Highways, it just didn't have any kind of like a catchiness to it. Didn't have a kind of theme even to it. I mean, the whole point of that name was I was in a call with some friends one time, and they were like, I was like, you know, I'm thinking of changing my name from Wild, which was my very first name. I don't even know if you would know that, but I was like, you know, I want to change this because there's so many people on Spotify called Wild, WYLD. And they were like, okay, let's start brainstorming. Okay, right. Give me a word. And I said, highways. They're like, right. Okay, let's see if we can change the spelling of that and make it sound cooler. And I was like, okay. So they changed it to HYWAY and then whatever. And I was like, all right, that's good. But I've seen a few of them on Spotify before. And they're like, right, then let's add a few numbers to it. And the first thing that came to my head was the Irish phone number thing, which is 353, and I just stuck it on top there, and I just thought it worked. But yeah, no, Where's Will? Well, I love the name Where's Will. Especially the story behind it. It just comes from a phrase. Like, someone comes to talk to my mom and dad or whatever, they always walk in the door, and the first thing they're asking is like, oh, you know, how's whoever, how's that, and you know, where's Will? And 90% of the time, it's because I'm upstairs in my room, just making music all the time, and nobody knows where I am. So yeah, that's like the main reason I decided to change it, and why, like, I feel like it's more of me.
Did you kind of choose rap music to kind of express yourself instead of maybe some other genre?
That's actually a good question. It started actually, I must have been like 7 or 8 at the time. I was really into, like, you know, like that kind of boom bap kind of rap, like Eminem, Tupac. You know, I love that kind of stuff. Mom and dad would never let me listen to it. They was like, oh, you know, there's too many swear words. Don't talk about stuff that, you know, it's inappropriate, whatever. And I was like, yeah, but I want to listen to rap music. So I loved it. And I think the whole kind of thing about me wanting to do rap just came from like writing down stuff and like notebooks and stuff. And I was like 8 or 9, just like writing out songs. And like, it was weird because I had like no rhythm, no sense of rhythm, no sense of like, you know, this goes here and this goes there. But I was like, I'm going to write anyway. And I have like multiple notebooks just stacked to the brim of raps I wrote when I was like 8 or 9, and just all the way up to where I am today. Actually, what happened was the way I got into rap itself, I decided this was going to be what I did was, I must have been about 13 time. This is, well, I'm pretty young, so I was going to try production because I wanted to rap and produce and rap over my own beats. That failed. I'm terrible at producing. That's what I've learned over the course of these few years. But yeah, over that time, people were like, you know, you shouldn't rap or anything. That's not true to you. And I was like, no, I think this is what I want to do. And from there, I just kind of decided I've always been good at singing. I've come from a very musical family. So how do I combine the two of these to just kind of fully sound like myself? And melodic rap just kind of came to me, and it was like the choice I wanted to go with. So like since then, I've just been kind of mixing the two and seeing what I can come up with.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the things is that I'm going to ask you in a minute is, you know, do you make your own beats or do you outsource? And it's interesting that you have, you know, attempted. I think anyone who's kind of started off with music and stuff like that has made the decision to be like, okay, I'm going to do everything myself. You know, it's like one of those things that's like, okay, I'm going to do everything myself. And then you realize, okay, I'm not good at production, or I mightn't be good at rapping, but it might be good. You know, it's back and forth or whatever. Or you might be good at mixing, you mightn't be good at mastering, whatever it might be, but you figure it out straight away what you want to do and what you like to do. I think a lot of like, I'd say there's a lot of producers out there that like would love to rap on their own beats, but like just don't have the vocal capability to do it, or maybe mightn't be too confident in
Yeah.
front of a mic, or whatever the reason may be, or you know, vice versa for a singer. It's like, what the hell is a computer kind of thing, or what's a DAW,
Yeah.
or what's all these programs and stuff like that, and they wouldn't be up to
Yeah.
to scratch on the info on that. But
Yeah.
it's great to see that you kind of attacked that and tried to
Yeah.
kind of get a sense of it, because I think it is beneficial to have some sort of a knowledge of how
Yeah.
both ends work, how like
Yeah.
what way you need to speak into a mic, or what way do you need to pronounce your words, and how to get your vocal tones
Yeah.
right for that. And also on the production side, you know, keys, how to work a DAW to a simple extent.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that. Do you have a producer yourself that makes your beats now, or do you still attempt your own?
I don't really produce myself anymore. I'll do it the odd time when I'm bored or whatever, but I'm not good at the whole mixing side of things. Like, I don't know the levels or anything. I think right now, definitely one of my favorite producers has to be my boy Sida. He's been on the show before. You've talked to him. He's great. Like, he makes so many great beats. His the way he just does things, and like, I generally, like, we actually have a song coming up pretty soon. Now, depends on a few things, but the beat for that song is one of the greatest beats I've ever heard. Like, it's so good, and it's got like, I don't know. Yeah, see that up there. See that, like, definitely one of my favorite producers. And then I just kind of swap between YouTube producers and, like, you know, whatever I find online. Just and I don't really have like specific people. It's just, you know, free for profit, X type beat featuring whatever, you know, just whoever I want the beat to sound like, or whatever song I've just heard that I want to kind of, you know, come up with a sound that just feels more like that. Yeah, so see that, and then whoever's on YouTube, I guess that's kind of like my main go-to.
That's fair enough. And see that does make some good beats, and I think everyone after listening to that is hyped for what's going to come out.
Oh yeah.
You know, obviously COVID's impacted the scene and stuff like that, and it's you know, it's impacted everybody's piece of life, you know, whether it's going down to the shop, going down to the Nike store, or whatever it might be. But for the music scene, I think it's impacted a lot. But do you think right now, do you think because people are still indoors to an extent, do you think there's many opportunities for young people to kind of get into rap and stuff like that, or do you think like don't even bother? What's your thoughts?
No, I think this is probably the best time to do it. Because this time last year, I would have just been getting into all this. I would have been just kind of figuring myself out and trying to come up with what sound I wanted to do. COVID was definitely, like, a lot of people would say it's a hindrance, but I think it was, like, in a way, one of the best things to happen, because I was able to just take all the time I needed to work on solely me and work on what I wanted to do. Without that, I don't know where I would be right now. Like, I don't know what kind of thing would have been going on with me. I don't even know if I'd be doing music anymore. Like, just having that kind of place where it was like, you've got nothing to do, so do music. And I was like, sure. And since then, I've just been going at it every day.
It's good. It's good to hear that you made the most of it. I know a lot of people took it a different route, like said, "Oh my God, it's going to be only 2 weeks, so you know, make as much music as you can." And then they burnt out of steam when it was going to be a whole year. And you know, vice versa, and people just took it on board different ways. But it's great to see that you just said, "This is it." You know, whether it lasts, you know, another decade or whatnot, you're going to make the most out of it. And it's great to see that attitude in you, because I know a lot of people were, you know, found it very hard to kind of get themselves out of bed sometimes, and found it very hard to kind of get themselves motivated to do something positive in a time where they were stuck indoors, or they, you know, they haven't, you know, 5-kilometer radius, which isn't that much, especially in Donegal, I presume. Besides yourself, and I know even just from talking about See That and stuff like that, I know we're going to be talking about that new single that's coming out next week, which we're going to be talking about mad about. But who do you think is going to deliver Heat in 21s?
Definitely, I have to say, my boy Pax. He's been working so hard since all this started. He's been, like, in the studio every day, making hit after hit after hit. And he's gonna drop some amazing songs this year. I know how much I'm able to say. I can just say that he's got a lot of other artists that are gonna, you know, appear on his songs, and they're gonna make an impact. And he is definitely gonna be one of the top artists we'll see coming up this year. Cormac as well. Cormac Butler. He's been doing bits. He dropped a song last night, actually, and it was like one of the coolest, like, summer kind of rap songs I've ever heard. I really liked there was one part near the end where, like, this piano came in or whatever, and it was so cool. I think he's definitely dropping, like, a lot of heat this year. He is up there, definitely. And then, of course, you got people like LG4 Trey, LG4 Ness. They're making hit after hit after hit. I don't think they've ever like I don't think LG4 Trey. I don't think he's ever missed. Like I haven't hear think of a bad song by him. Like Backseat is like a Backseat. It's up there. It's definitely up there. And Praying That I Die is also a great song. And LG4 yeah, I know he's gonna drop some heat. I've only heard a few songs from him. But yeah, I know he's gonna drop some serious heat this year. And then that's on the Irish side anyway. I think I've got a bit more on the American side of things. I'm in contact with a few artists over there that I like to keep good relations with. So yeah, I feel like it's great to promote them in our country. So I think you just start off TH Cole. He's been working really hard on a big album that I've got a feature on his deluxe, and yeah, we went crazy in that song. It's nuts. Young Desi, he makes like really cool pop rap kind of smooth songs. He dropped a song again last night that is up there. It's so good. And I don't even know who else. Darius King, and of course my boy Bryce C, who's featuring on the newest song. They both make waves. They both drop hit after hit after hit. They are definitely up there. I'm expecting heat from every single one of those artists.
It's mad that there's so many people that that are going to drop so much heat. When I know, even so far there's been so much heat delivered to this day. But like I know Cormac Butler, you were saying that track. I think it's last summer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I misquote. Sorry, Cormac, on that one. But like that's such a bop. Like I think like he just takes that attitude, and I think like being, he's still in school and stuff like that, but he still has that like. He knows where he wants to go, and it's great to see that an artist like him is going on his way, especially you as well. Like you are very talented. You're very, you know what you want to do. Like you're changing your name. It's a big decision to change your name. As an artist, when you're kind of getting defined as one and you're changing to another. But I think even you got that attitude, and you've mentioned some American people, which there's some people who just won't collaborate it outside of Ireland, and it's great that you're kind of you're reaching far and wide and doing the best that you can, like, and it's great to see that great attitude towards it. You've kind of kicked off, you're kind of started into the rap scene, as you said. You kind of kicked off last year, but what advice would you give to someone who's just like today, he's listening to Where's Will, he's like, will you tell me what's the best advice for me to get started in the rap scene right now?
Definitely I would have to say, if you're just starting off, focus on the quality of what you have to say and focus on your lyrics. Definitely, like, number one, they're like stuff you got to worry about. If you can make great wordplay, if you're great with your flows and the way everything sounds, that should be number one. Like a great song with a bad mix sounds better than a great mix with a bad song. Like, you don't have to have the best equipment ever. You don't have to have the best mix ever. Just make songs that are quality and lyrics that are quality. If everything is up to a good standard, then everything else will fall in place afterwards. Once people start noticing you and they want to work with you, you'll notice that on the production side of things, the quality of your music just keeps going higher and higher and higher.
That's some great advice. Like, I wish I had that advice when I started off. As an artist, you've been able to kind of promote yourself. You've been doing TikTok videos and stuff like that. And they've been very interesting to watch and stuff like that. Is that the only method that you use to promote yourself as an artist? Is there some other mechanism behind that head of yours that says this is another thing that's so crazy that will get me loads of views? What's your method?
I mean, a lot of methods for like good promotion and to get your songs really noticed. Like, the pricing on them is a lot, and me being a struggling 15-year-old in the middle of Donegal trying to make music, trying to go the pricey way is not the greatest option usually. So usually I just focus on word to mouth, making sure if I like work with other people, so that way they'll repost your stuff and you'll repost their stuff, build those connections, build relations with people, because when you do that, you have a network of people that will always promote your stuff. And build up your platforms, build up your Instagram, build up your TikTok, build up whatever you're on, and make sure you have a following of people that maybe they're not even there for your music, maybe they're there for a funny viral video you did, but once they see that and they go on, they'll start looking at all your other stuff. Just put your work into it. Like, I know myself, I kind of failed in my TikTok challenge videos, but it's okay because it's trial and error, and some things work and some things don't. But you just have to make sure that you're ready and you're prepared and you're willing to, especially if you're going the free route, to just build up all of your platforms and build up everywhere you're going to promote yourself on. And then other than that, I like to send my music to promotion YouTube channels, like Promoting Sounds and Sauce Only, and they're great. It just depends on the quality of music that if they post you or not. It's purely luck based. But if you're sure and you're positive that your song is high quality and it's up there, there's a good chance you could get posted.
Yeah, I mean, what I was gonna say is, you were saying like, get yourself out there, try everything and everything. I think this is a question that some people, I think, don't know. Is it for you? Do you think it's best to be on, like, let's say, be on Facebook, be on Snapchat, be on Instagram, be in Tumblr, even I don't even know if that's still around, being on Twitter, being on Pinterest, being on Google, whatever it might be, whatever other social medias are out there.
Yeah.
Do you think the more the better, or do you think like focused on one or two that'd be better to do it? What way do you think?
I'd say definitely have an account on all forms of social media that are relevant. And maybe you don't have to build up certain ones more so than other ones, especially places like TikTok, which are like booming right now, and like YouTube and like Instagram, like all those places, they're going up. They're the places people focus on. Places like Facebook, Reddit, Tumblr, as you said. I don't even know if Tumblr's around anymore, but places like that, it's good to have an account there just so you can secure your name, secure more things about you, and maybe post there from time to time. But don't make that your primary focus. Focus on the places that people are watching. Like teenagers these days, always on their phone. The first app they click on, TikTok, and they just scroll through there. They could be there for hours. So make sure that when they're scrolling there for hours, you're going to take some of their time and you're going to make them glad that they scrolled for hours.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would agree. I think like you've definitely got, you definitely know what you're doing, because I think a lot of people your age, as much as it might be obvious that people are on TikTok, for your age demographic and stuff like that, and obviously the older generation is more on Facebook, or then in the middle, then it's kind of Instagram. That's kind of the way I kind of see it, but I might be completely wrong. That it's interesting to see that you already kind of have that ciphered out for yourself, that you like know that like, okay, this is the spot, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, I need to go on Facebook because I've been on Facebook for so long and this is the place to be. It's always been the place to be. Whereas nowadays it is at TikTok and it is at Instagram is another big, it's still growing as well. Like, and it's interesting to see that your mind is already kind of, because a lot of people find it difficult to market themselves and figure out what marketing strategy would work. I know people try ads. I know people do all sorts of things, do things that they should probably be doing to get that attention, to get more people viewing them and, getting more popular. And it's great to see that, like, you have that kind of marketing aspect in the back of your head to say, I know that TikTok's good for my age demographic. My songs are kind of aimed at that age demographic, because you kind of have like that very poppy, hip hoppy vibe with you. And I think it works on that platform. And I think it's incredibly good for you to know where the market is for your music. And it's, even those TikTok videos, as I said, like they work as a charm, for you. I think they definitely give you that more attention towards your music and stuff like that and what you're releasing. Speaking of releases, you're dropping some serious heat next week. Do you want to tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, of course. So I'm dropping Nike with a big feature. Definitely one of my favorite artists to come out of kind of the underground area right now. Ricey, he just makes hits, he makes waves, he makes music that just gets you up, he gets you hyped, he gets you ready. He makes like that kind of music that you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go punch a tree or something like that, but yeah, no, I think this song is just like, it's a really cool collaboration, because I never expected, especially an artist who's just kind of coming into the scene, to get an opportunity to make a song with someone who's so like well-founded in the underground community and kind of has a name for themselves already. And it was just really cool to me that I was able to get a verse off of him in the first place. But yeah, no, this song, it's up there. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever made. It's just so like, you're gonna make your dreams, you're gonna do this, you're gonna get big, and you're gonna, spit in the faces of everyone that's ever told you you're doing wrong, or everyone that's ever told you you're not gonna make it, because you have the strength to push on and keep going and get through this. And one day you're gonna be at the top, and everyone that's ever looked down on you, or everyone that's ever said you won't make it, they're going to be looking up to you instead.
It's a great way to have a song. Now, I haven't listened to it yet. I know when I listen to it, it's going to be the hottest thing ever. I know from snippets and stuff like that, the artwork looks spot on. Like, I was already interested in it. And that's why obviously I invited you onto the show. I think one of the questions that people might get a bit controversial about it is the name. Is it Nike or is it Nike? That's going to be a big issue for a lot of people. And I think, I don't know if it was a good decision there. No, I'm just messing. But I think, I think the marketing, you could definitely do something in marketing aspect for that, even do polls, like what people think. which would be cool. I think like that's a great way to kind of get more traction towards yourself. And I think you've set yourself up even with this track to kind of grasp that element of it.
Yeah.
I think even the way that you've explained what the track means to you, and it's about, you know, getting up, you know, that you can do this, and kind of say that you know, that like you can do what you want to do. Don't let anyone stop you kind of attitude towards it is great to see. Especially at a young age, I think, because it's hard. Like it's hard for a lot of young people to figure out, you know, they might see, oh, I want to be, let's say Travis Scott. I want to get up to that level and realize that there's a lot more to it. But are you willing to put in the effort? And I think Where's Will is going to put in the effort. Where's Will is going to get up to that stature, whether he's going to be rapping with Travis Scott, he's going to be rapping with Playboi Carti, he's going to be rapping with Kanye West as well. We might as well throw all the names. I think like because you have that attitude, and I think at a young age, and you know, I think you're blessed that you come from a music background. I think a lot of people don't come from the same background as you do, that you will have better options open to you in terms of as an artist. And you know, it's great to see that, you know, an Irish artist is making waves at the age of 15. Like I think a lot of people will be like, what the hell is he doing? But I think you're doing amazing. And I'm looking forward to this track. We're going to head over to Instagram because we've got a few questions. I threw up the post on our story last night, so it's been a last minute, but we got a few questions. So perfect, I was pretty delighted with the response. This first one, we as we did yesterday on the Instagram, we did a few polls and stuff like that, and one of the polls that we put up was in relation to accents and what people thought of them. Now, some people thought the question basically was saying, what, you know, is there a problem with having a fake accent? And from the response, a lot of people said there is a problem. There's a, you know, you shouldn't rap in a fake accent. So this question kind of originates off that. I think because we asked that question and then ask Will a few questions, it kind of came off the back burner of that. But this comes from Shambles. He says, you know, Where's Will has a Scottish and Irish flag in his bio. And so, but why does he use an American accent to express himself instead of using that Scottish and Irish accent on top of it?
It just comes down to the way I've been doing this since I was little. Like, coming from a music background, I was always like, you know, singing and stuff like that and doing stuff. And when you develop your singing voice and your tone, sometimes, you know, you just kind of have a certain way of doing it, and sometimes a certain accent just kind of comes on you. I generally think it's all down to just how you usually sound and trying to keep it natural. I could go in there and I could come on with the thickest Donegal accent ever, and I could say, I'm doing this and doing that and going up the road and all that, but it just isn't natural. It's not me, you know. Like, if I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna do it the way I've sang, and I'm gonna do it the way I've always been, which is just like that. And I mean, in an age where like rap is expanding, Irish rap's getting up there, you know, we're building up our Irish rap community and things like that. I feel like the accent, as important as our Irishness is and our nationality is, the accent isn't the main focus of our music. Our music is for us, and we give it back to you to listen to. And we love your criticism. We love the words you have to say. But if your only criticism of me is that I don't have an Irish accent when I rap, then, you know, there's other things you could talk to me about instead that I would love to hear.
Yeah, I think it's great to see that you have that attitude that like that accent doesn't matter. I think a lot of people, and for me, you know, Ireland has come from, we're known as the storytellers. You know what I mean? We're able to tell a story, and we can do it through music. We could do it through song and dance and whatnot. Exactly. And it's weird that there is an issue with accents and stuff like that. You go to, a lot of people talk about violence in Ireland and stuff like that. And it, you know, when you compare it to the UK, you're like, there's no violence. It's practically not existent. And you nearly think to yourself, if people are talking about violence and all these things that are happening in Ireland, which clearly isn't happening from stats on the CSO, that you get people who are faking stories. Is that not the same? You know, if you're someone who fakes your accent to rap, and you have someone who's doing their actual accent but they're faking the story, what's really the difference? Is really the question there.
Exactly.
So that's kind of my take on it. I think it's grand. You know, if it makes you happy in whatever accent you do it in, you know, go for it. If it makes you €1 million, go for it. You know, at the end of the day, you're doing your thing. You're you know, you're enjoying what you're doing as well. This question comes from Young Jest. He's from Limerick. He asks, where is he? Where is Will?
Where is he? I don't know. I'm invisible, man. I've been asking that question since I come up with the name. Like, where am I? Because this is my house. I don't live here. That's not my wall. I don't know where I am. I don't know where any of this is. Honestly, I could be anywhere. I could be on your screens. I could be outside that window. Where am I? Big question. You know, that's the question that's gonna come at me my whole career. Where is Will?
I think it's a great question because like you could definitely use it as a slogan. I can even with like people saying it, because I got a few comments of people that saying it, and one of the things that came to mind for me was like, where is Wally? You know, that kind of thing. Or where is Waldo, as the Americans say. And it was like, you could do like some cool thing with that in terms of marketing, like just get like one of those stripy red and white jumpers that say, where's Will or whatever. It'd be bloody hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
As you mentioned, Cormac is a great artist as well. So he asked a few questions. Features that you have coming up in the future is what he's asked.
Features I have come up in the future. I don't know if he means features I have other people or features I am on other songs, but I've gotten a few requests from certain people. Some aren't finished, some of them are finished, so it's just very kind of But on the other side of things, there's a lot of artists I want to get in contact with and get features started with. Me and Cormac have definitely been talking. We've been talking a lot on, getting a song started and getting something in there. So there's something in the works. Then there will be something, hopefully. And of course, me and Pax, we've been working since we started rapping, to be honest. My first song was actually a feature on him on a remix of a song called Riot by XXXTentacion. That's how I kind of got into this. Like, he kind of brought me into the whole scene. He brought me into the whole like rap and everything, and it was just like cool that he was like there and willing to like help me out as much as he could. So yeah, I've got a feature with him coming up, and it's gonna be nuts. It's a great song. And then with other people, there's most people, of course we got Bryce C, who's featuring on the next song and the first song of Where's Will. And then I've also got I've got a song. I don't know if I should say this yet, or if I should wait till for a while, but I'll say that there's a song that I made before and people seem to like it. And there's a pretty cool American artist who's gonna help me improve it. We'll say that.
Oh Jesus, bringing the hype. As you were mentioning, you worked at PAX, and I think he wanted a bit of publicity here with this question, but he asked, how did you start music? And obviously you've just kind of given us the answer there, but maybe there's a bit more detail that you want to say.
Actually, it started when a mutual friend, he was talking to me. He was like, I hear you, like, you're interested in rap and stuff like that. I've got a friend who does that, and if you want to talk to him, like, I can put you on. I was like, yeah, for sure, go for it. And keep in mind, I was young at the time. I must have been like 13 or whatever. I didn't really know much about rap or everything. I was trying to get myself into it. And he introduced me to like the whole world of rap, and like, where to get your beats from, how to like what you should get mixing on, like how to record certain things, the microphones, stuff like that. All like the information you would need to start off. Like, he was able to tell me that like from the get-go. He used to always give me tips and stuff like that. We were both not very well versed in the whole mixing thing. So I remember the only advice he would give me on that point for like a year was just to take out the low ends and leave everything else in, and I think we're good. And that was my philosophy from that point on, was just take out all the lows, leave everything else in, and we're Gucci. But yeah, no, he's definitely been one of the biggest helps in music and rapping so far. Like, he is like, it's just great to have him in my corner and like have him there to just help me out along the way, because now that I think we've come to a mutual point in our careers and we're like the same kind of positions, it's great for us to just spout back and forth information and advice to each other and help each other out as much as we can. But yeah, no, I think I have to thank like 90% of me doing this to him, just inspiring me to say, do it. Who cares what other people think?
Dead right. You're absolutely dead right there. He had one more question. This is the last question. And I think he wants a definite answer from this. Okay. I mean, he wants you to be sure. A definitive answer is what he's asking. A definitive. Pax asks, where is Will?
I'll answer that in the song dropping on the 30th of April. Check it out. It's called Nike featuring Bryce C. Definitely listen to that song. I answered the question in there. That's awesome.
Do you know what? You're an absolute amazing hype man on that for that. Like, the best way to answer it, I think. We're going to head back over to my questions and stuff like that. But you've kind of been in the scene for a small bit and stuff like that. But what do you think? and you know, like people compare, you know, America and the UK, and they're at a different level altogether. As you said, we were kind of starting off. But what do you think is missing right now for us to get to that next step? You know, to get closer to the same level as America and the UK.
CDAT said this in his interview, and I think I would be along the same lines. Is that we need to get a bigger sense of community work, and we need to get a bigger sense of helping each other out and being a community that's there for each other and that's there to help each other out. Especially in a place where Irish rap is not so easily found. Like I remember for me, the only way me and Pax came across this whole thing was we were looking up on Instagram just hashtags. We looked up like hashtags Irish rap, and from there we found the page Irish Rap Zone, and that's the only way we were able to find more Irish artists. And I think the thing is we need to have a sense of community, like Irish people, artists, no other Irish artists. When you have something like that and you have got an immediate way to like more people in our zone, more people that are willing to work with you, and more people that are like, you know, just, you know, there, people that will promote you, people that will like hype you up, people that will like make sure people listen to stuff, get their fans to listen to you, you get your fans to listen to them. Just that sense of community where everyone's working together. We're all just trying to get a bigger name put on Irish rap. I think that's the way we need to go. Just big community, everyone works together.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Like, you know, we've had so many stars from Ireland, you know, regardless of what, you know, not in rap, but in other genres, you go with Westlife and stuff like that. You got Jedward, you know, I can name a few others, but, you know, we have like the studios, you know, we have the talent, you know, there's so many rappers. You can even look on the Irish Rap Zone website on the artist list. There's so many from all over the country, and even up in Northern Ireland as well. And there's so much talent out there. You know, we have the recording studios, we have the talent, you know, we have the videographers. There's so many coming out now doing videos and headshots, as they're called, for artists and stuff like that. To, you know, those services are there. It's just that collectiveness of it, I think, and I think it is the missing piece in my end of things. And I think that it is one of the things, because I think everything else is there. Now, one of the other things is probably, you know, some people are in the back half of the door and they can't get reception for the life of them. But that's probably another issue. But other than that, like, there is so many options out there to be able to do it. And, you know, there's people who even do it on, you know, their phone to record, and they start off that way. You know, you see a lot of freestyles, especially in the drill genre, that go down that path to get their name out there. And that's a starting point that gets you going, and that's, you know, that's how you get in. That's really it, and it's making those connections, I think, is the big thing. And as you said, we're at that starting phase, we're at that starting part, so there is a lot of things that need to happen before we get to a certain, you know, up to the same level as maybe the UK or the US, but we'll get there. I think we'll get there. But no, I would totally agree with you. We know that you're dropping serious heat. You've already dropped some serious heat this year. You got On Lock, you got Congratulations, you've got Rude with the Kid Low, Lev. Is it? Lev, Kid sorry. Lev. Apologies, can't even read my own writing. But what's your aim as an artist in 2021?
Just to get myself out there more, just to get a bigger following, and just to kind of make more music that I really love, and make like music I love, but music I hope other people will love as well. Just to kind of build myself up and just keep going the way I am right now. Because especially starting off the way I'm so blessed that I'm starting off and I'm already, you know, getting a lot of attention from certain people. I'm getting people that want to feature me, people that want to work with me. And like, I think,
and people that want to interview you as well.
And people that want to interview me, of course. Couldn't forget that. But, you know, just, it's that kind of thing, you know, especially when you're starting off. Like, I'm humbled by it that people want to just work with me and like do things with me. And I just think it's so cool, especially from someone who's just getting themselves into the whole scene in the first place. I think my goals is just to build myself up and get myself out there more.
Do you think we'll see an EP from WHERES in 21?
We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. I mean, like there's a chance we could see one, maybe not like in the near future, but in the future, probably we'll see an EP or two, you know. There'll be some sort of collection or projects coming out, so just keep that in mind anyway.
Look, for anyone listening and everyone watching, this guy is an absolute amazing hype man. Like, this is his first interview and he's just hyping everything up. Like, I'm already super excited. Obviously COVID is been a hard time to kind of make music and stuff for a lot of artists. But did you find it hard to kind of come up with concept and come up with ideas and come up with what beats you're going to use? Or did you find it like, yeah, I'm going to make some music? Did you just walk in and say, yes, I'm going to do it?
No, I actually, you know, in the first part, definitely of 2020, and like the starting point of that, I had a big issue with just trying to get inspired to make stuff and just trying to make more music, because what would happen is I would come into the studio, well, my bedroom anyway. The setup wasn't like this. There was just a microphone and nothing else. And I would just sit there riffing over beats for hours and hours and hours. And it was just like trying to build up that confidence as an artist where, you know, don't care about comparing yourself to this person or that person. Just compare yourself to you and build yourself up off of what you do best and what like you are. And don't focus on what other people do best, what other people are greater at than you. And I was just trying to find myself that way. And then once I did, I was able to just like, you know, make a song. I like that. Make another song. I don't like that, but it's okay. We're going to go move on to the next one. Do that song, you know, which is more so now that I'm more comfortable in my position, I'm just like, you know, I'm happier and I'm able to make more music and I'm less worried about things like that than I would have been in the earlier stages of 2020 anyway.
You know, I'm delighted that, you know, you've been able to get over that hurdle and stuff like that and be able to kind of make some serious, you know, you've already dropped 3 tracks this year, or you've been featured on one of them, which is great to see. And I know that you're going to have so much more heat in the future, especially next week. Is there anything else you want to plug before we wrap up the show?
Of course, check out the single that's dropping. Follow my Instagram, please. Please follow my Instagram. I need more followers, please. And check out Pax. He's gonna drop some amazing music. Check out Cormac. He's doing fire. Check out CDAT, LG4 Trey, LG4 Ness. If you're an Irish artist, you know, and I didn't say your name, I'm sorry. Scream it in the comments. Just anyone, check out everyone, please. Just check people out, please. Just please, just give us some more publicity. We just want money. That's all we want. But please, if you're an Irish artist or whatever, just keep working, get yourself out there, work with more people in your area, get yourself a community kind of thing going. And hopefully Irish rap music will get itself off the ground and we can see ourselves somewhere bigger this time next year.
Fingers crossed. We're going to wrap it up here at the Heatcast. For everyone watching on YouTube and everyone listening on Spotify, make sure to follow us on Instagram to get all the updates. And if you would like to support the show, remember to check out our Patreon. The link is in the description, so check that out. And we'll see you all in the next one.
Erica, blue thing.
When they talking to me, I hear la da di da. Yeah, I hop on a rocket, I'm about to blast off. Ain't for the moon, but I shoot for the stars. Take a pick with a whip, but I can't drive a car. Whoa, I put in work, it's a lot. I drop another track, that shit is hot. It's what I deserve, I won't stop. I'm